please join me again in thanking David Campbell and Marty Haley on guitar. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, Ms Julie Bishop, Deputy Leader of the Opposition, I want to deeply thank you for coming this evening. I want to deeply thank our sponsors who have worked with us at the shortest possible notice to create this event this evening. I want to thank particularly the Government of New South Wales, represented by Minister Gillian Skinner, Bupa, a leading healthcare organisation caring for more than 3 million Australians, and Mr Peter Brennan. Thank you very much for your sponsorship of this event. I also thank Mr Wayne Harrison, our Creative Director, Teresa Famularo and Will Sheehan and their team at Creation, who've worked through the night to bring this event together. And I thank you very much for coming to this extraordinary event to mark World AIDS Day 2011. You, the people in this room, and the people you work with, represent the very heart and soul of the Australian response to HIV and AIDS, and I thank you very much for coming. And of course, if nothing else, so many people here at such short notice proves just one thing, that Sydney loves Elton John. Today, 1 December, is World AIDS Day. We remember those whose lives have been affected and cut short by HIV and AIDS. We join with our brothers and sisters in Australia and around the world to recommit ourselves, our organisations and our governments to do what is needed to be done to put paid to AIDS. In the last decade or so, thanks to the tremendous work of bilateral operations like PEPFAR in the United States, the Global Fund, bilateral donors, the United Kingdom government, AusAid here in Australia, we've accomplished a great deal. ART, antiretroviral therapy, that of course breaks the nexus between HIV and AIDS, is available now for 6.5 million people in low and middle income countries, which accounts for about half of the 14.2 million people who are eligible to receive it. That is, another 7 million people who need ART want it but cannot afford to access it. We have the knowledge, the strategy and the people to do this thing properly. But just as we see the light at the end of the tunnel, there is a funding crisis that is affecting particularly the larger donors and particularly in North America and Europe. The Global Fund is struggling with the consequences of the crisis in Europe, and European donors have not delivered on some $2 billion of the pledges they made just last year in New York to assist people on low and middle income countries to get ART. Of course this needs to be discussed and resolved urgently. It will no doubt, of course, be on the agenda tomorrow in Washington DC, when our great friend Bono meets with Presidents Obama and Clinton and George W. Bush and by video with Sir Elton John, to raise this matter in the United States and globally with the hope of resolving the problem that we now face. So it is a tough situation, but not one that is hopeless or that cannot be overcome. Our aim tonight and from now on must be, in the words of the UN AIDS campaign, by 2015, 0 new infections, 0 discrimination, 0 AIDS-related deaths, and particularly 0 mother-to-child transmission of HIV. Thank you very much. It is my very great pleasure to introduce to you now the Honourable Gillian Skinner, the New South Wales Minister for Health and Minister for Medical Research. Thank you very much.